Who am I? None of your business. Do my eyes deceive me? Is that a mysterious challenger on the board in the year 2021? It is indeed a mysterious challenger. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Secrets Paladin. And here we've got a whiteboard. And this Libran Paladin is really struggling. They can buff their minions and will often generate big single threats that you have to watch out for. But against a whiteboard with a knife juggler, this game is just over.
I must have slayed 100 or so.
Yeah, turn 8, we were able to seal this game out. Very, very satisfying. Okay, so, Secrets Paladin, courtesy of Headfirst. Now, I found this deck on Hearthstone. Why on earth am I playing Secrets Paladin in the year 2021, you ask? Well, I just felt like playing it. I felt like taking a trip down memory lane. And Secrets Paladin came to be in what, the year, was it 2015? The Grand Tournament? Or was it 2016? I can't quite recall, but there was a time when Secrets Paladin was the dominant deck on the meta. For a number of months, I remember just playing it non-stop. And Mysterious Challenger was a lot of fun to play. I loved the entrance. Who am I? None of your business. Very mysterious. And of course, the Challenger would draw out a load of secrets from your deck. And if you look at this deck, we've only got 3 secrets in play. We have Avenge, we have Noble Sacrifice, and we have what I think is the best secret available to Paladin right now, Oh My Yogg, because essentially it counters spell-based classes. It can counter a big turn for an opponent where they have some mass AoE or even, I don't know, a fireball for lethal. It can really, really help. So, only 3 secrets. Now, back in the day, I do recall Secrets Paladin pulling out lots more secrets at once. In fact, you'd get the full Christmas tree. That's the maximum number of secrets that you can have in play at any one time. But this deck just takes the approach of utilising 3 secrets. The idea, of course, is to get an early board presence, go super wide on the board. Knife Juggler can be a massive help with the likes of Muster for Battle. Those juggles can hit enemy minions early on, clearing the board, giving you control. Or alternatively, they can hit face. That's also useful. But Knife Juggler, when is the last time you've seen anyone play that card on the ladder? Honestly, I can't remember. It's been a long time, so good to see it in play. This deck also runs Call to Arms for that board presence. There's also 1 copy of Quartermaster. Now, we are not a dude-centric paladin. Yeah, we run 2 copies of Muster for Battle. But yes, you could just get a lucky moment where you have enough dudes on the board and Quartermaster can make all the difference. Sunkeeper Tarim is not to be underestimated. If you can go wide on the board early, Tarim on 6 could just buff your minions up enough to let them go face for lethal, or get some really good value trades on the board. Now, finally, Dr. Boom is in this deck. For those of you that are long-time Hearthstone players, you'll remember Dr. Boom on turn 7 was often seen as a game-winning play. Dr. Boom doesn't quite have that kind of impact now, so why am I playing him in this deck? I don't know, I'll have to ask the deck author as to why the card's in there, but let's call it a great trip down memory lane with Dr. Boom. Okay, let's have a look at this deck in action.
I'll make my own look.
I will fight with honor.
So, we have some 2-drops, I'm keeping that. You could argue that we'd be better off looking for 1-drops, but that's okay. That's okay.
Delightful.
I'm happy with these relatively sticky 2-drops. What do we mean by sticky? We mean that they're going to be hard to remove. So, Divine Shield here. We also have the Reborn effect in hand, and we have Divine Shield Death Rattle as well. So, pretty decent.
Weapons ready.
Now, the opponent has the coin. So I'm not going to play Oh My Yogg. Not just yet. But yes, going back to the earlier point, Dr. Boom in this deck. Beyond a trip down memory lane, what does Dr. Boom achieve in this deck? Is he powerful enough as a turn 7 play? Does he do enough? That's the question. So, Spectral Cutlass. Very, very interesting. So our opponent will aim to buff that weapon, get additional charges on it. And there will come a point where they will just out-heal any of the damage that we do.
Take to the street.
So we need to kill them before the weapon gets buffed significantly. And it is well within the capabilities of this deck to end games early. So, I was pondering Master for Battle. However, I wanted to play on my Yogg. And the reason is, I would suspect on their upcoming turn, maybe a board clear. Some kind of spell, something to help them deal with this board. So I think this was a good turn to play on my Yogg. Oh, okay, no spell, but another buff. That's pretty scary. Well, here we go.
Who am I? None of your business.
Who am I? And none of your business. I love that entrance. Okay, Avenge, Oh My Yogg, and Noble Sacrifice in play. Now, if they deal with this mysterious challenger and they trigger some of our secrets, we have another one waiting in the wings. And Fan of Knives turns into, oh my goodness, Shadow Form. Huh. Well, that's a little bit scary. That's certainly scary. Oh, they're going to face tank it. Ha! But surprise! Noble Sacrifice saving the day. Protecting our mysterious challenger. Although they probably suspected it was going to be Noble Sacrifice, right? Now, I'm conscious of the fact that some of you watching this will never have played Secrets Paladin. Some of you watching this will be new to Hearthstone, will have started playing the game in the last 2-3 years. And you won't have experienced the joy that was Secrets Paladin. I really enjoyed playing the deck, honestly.
Who am I? None of your business. Question.
So if you're watching this and you have the cards, have I convinced you to give this deck a try, perhaps? You do struggle with this deck against slow control decks. There comes a point where they just outlast all of your damage, they clear your board, and yeah, you struggle to make a comeback. You do have Divine Favour in this deck, so you can refill your hand, so that's a bonus, potentially. But if you're looking at aggressive decks, there are probably better aggressive decks out there that you should be playing over this. Regardless, you can still win with it, and it is a great trip down memory lane, of course. I think it helps here that we are facing a Spectral Cutlass rogue and not an odd rogue or a more established rogue, a Kingsbane rogue, for example. If our opponent was Kingsbane rogue, how would we be faring? It's an interesting question.
The light dims, but we fight.
Reporting. Job's done.
Finley is a pretty cool inclusion in this deck because you can get the Warlock hero power, you can tap. Anything you can do to just refill your hand and keep the threats going. You basically have to win the game in the first 10 turns, I think. You know, a wide board, curving out nicely into Mysterious Challenger, and then maybe into Dr. Boom or Sunkeeper Tarim to buff a board.
Well played.
Once you go past 10 turns and your hand is empty, and you're just top decking, you're going to be relatively screwed. And I guess that's the case with any other aggressive deck. It's the same kind of logic, I guess. Well, the healing continues for our opponent. So can our mysterious challenges get us over the finish line here? Or is that buffed weapon going to ruin our day? That shadow form gives me nightmares. It makes me think of Reno Priest. Who'd have thought 2 damage hero power? Well, in this case it costs 2 and not 0, right? So I should be counting my lucky blessings. Imagine if it cost 0. How broken would that be? So I think our opponent sees the writing on the wall here.
Armor.
Or maybe not. Armor Smith. Whoa, that could do some... that could do something for them. Huh.
Choose soon.
So if they swing for 8, take out a challenger, are they still dead? Yeah, they're still dead. Unless they can activate the Armor Smith somehow. Oh, of course they can.
What's yours? Your wish?
But still dead. Oh look, call to arms. Oh, okay. Okay, next game. Oh look, it's a priest. Okay, this will be a real test. Whether this is Reno Priest or Big Priest, it'll certainly be a big test. Now, I kept Call to Arms. Why did I keep Call to Arms? Well, in the last game, we ended up in a situation where we were top decking, and we'd run out of threats to put down onto the board, even though we had a reasonable board presence. So Call to Arms is just a great way of refilling that board. There was once a time in the meta when Call to Arms was just consistently played, right? And then they nerfed it. And then they nerfed it. Of course they nerfed it. But it's still reasonably decent in this deck, I think. Goodbye, Knife Juggler. That's unfortunate. I was hoping it would hang around for a bit longer. That's an interesting pickup.
The battle for justice.
You see, that draw is essentially saying win the game on turn 4. We'll coin it out, and we'll just go face. And that's pretty strong, going face for 15 with the dudes, plus 1 from the weapon, so 16 damage on turn 4. 2 arms, men. Now, at this rate, we won't even need a Mysterious Challenger. We're just going to win the game off of Quartermaster. Oh, okay. Maybe not. Oh look, Dr. 7.
The battle for justice.
I suspect we won't need Dr. 7 in this game then. Maybe Mysterious Challenger will see it through for us. That's annoying. That's incredibly annoying. That's okay though. That's okay. Sunkeeper Tarim, what a top deck. And this is how you find lethal with Sunkeeper Tarim. Neutralizing a taunt, buffing your board, and killing your opponent. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, head first, Secrets Paladin. What do I think of this deck? Well, first of all, a wonderful nostalgia trip. Some wonderful memories of playing Secrets Paladin back in the day. Is this deck any good on the wild mode ladder? Well, I beat a big priest. That has to count for something, and we beat a very strange spectral cutlass rogue. How would this deck fare against Reno Priest? How would this deck fare against Secrets Mage? I guess those are the questions that need to be answered. I'm going to go ahead and make the assumption that perhaps you're not terribly favoured, right? But you can steal games away from your opponent. The aggressive start can count for a lot. A well-timed Oh My Yogg can be game-winning. And if your opponent just cannot clear a wide board, then you have a chance of winning. Is Mysterious Challenger in the year 2021 as effective as it was in the year 2016 or 2015? Definitely not. But pulling out 3 secrets from your deck and having them in play with a 6/6 body on board is not necessarily a bad thing either. So if you've got the cards, consider giving this deck a try. You know, it's been updated as best as possible, I think, for this year. But Dr. Boom, is he good enough? I never had an opportunity to play him, so in any of the games that I've played with this deck, so I wouldn't be able to tell you if he still has the impact that you would want him to have. I guess the fact that nobody else is playing Dr. Boom in their decks tells you that he's not a very good card or a very good legendary in the year 2021. But for nostalgia's sake, it's good to see him again. So, thank you very much for joining me, everyone. I hope you enjoyed the video. As always, please do look after yourselves, take care of yourselves, and be good to one another. And I will see you all again very soon for more Wild Mode fun.